Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This practical is related to the biotic factors. In other words, how species are interacting with each other for their survival, for dispersal in different areas, or getting help from other species to survive or to live in certain areas. So first of all, lichens, these are part of the association of algae and fungi. Mostly these lichens have two categories. One is known as a foliose lichen and another is known as a uh, crustose lichen. Foliose lichen, those which are mostly found on the bark of trees like pinus species or uh, you can say pine forest species, and those species which are growing on rocks, these known as a crustose lichen. So this lichen is attached with the Abies pindra in Khandiani. So this is association of algae and fungi for their survival. Algae is providing nutrition and fungi is helping that algal species to absorb nutrients. So this mutual relationship is known as. There are certain climbers which are unable to hang out or anchor their plant body in the air in order to trap sunlight. However, they are getting help from other species since they are either tiny in nature or they have weak stem. So that's why they are climbing on trees, on certain shrubs, and expanding the leaf area to trap out maximum sunlight. So in my right side, this is Rancosia pulverulenta. Normally, it is climbing on various perennial grasses. And on my left side, that is known as a Merva crassifolia. It is mostly attached with the ziphus, especially in low-story hilly area. On my right side, this is Cacculus hirsutus. It is mostly found in intermediate stories of hilly ranges. Especially this photo has been taken from Car Lake. And on my left side, this is Rubia cardifolia, mostly found in moist or temperate areas. On my right side, you can see in this slide, this is Hedera helix, and on my left side, you will see Tinospora cardifolia. This Tinospora is also found here in our uh, campus. On my right side, this is Hedera nepalensis, mostly found in pine forest areas, and another is branch in showing the flower. So the next is how plants are making their own climate. This climate is made by these trees for making the large canopy and providing shade as well as moisture for the underneath subshrubs, even annual or perennial herbs, grasses. You can see here underneath the ground floor is very rich with reference to grasses and you can say grasses and herbs. But on the other hand, if you compare with the deserts, so this picture has been taken from the Nara Desert. Last year we went in conference in Kharpur, and you can see the barren area is lacking species. However, where there is a perennial vegetation underneath, you will find ephemerals or annual plant species which are getting help from these perennial species for trapping moisture and even shade for the protection from the high scorching summer. There are certain plants which are unable to produce their own food material. These are known as a parasites. However, there are two categories of parasite. One is known as a root parasite and another is stem parasite. Root parasite mostly attach with the roots of the host. So on my right side, this is Ora benchi egyptica. This is a problematic even weed species mostly found on the root of Solanum nicopersicum or tomato. And on my left side, this is Cistenci tubulosa, mostly found in desert habitat, especially attached with the Calotropis procera, Caliconum polychromatoides. So another stem parasite, there are variety of Cascuta species. You can see here in this right side picture that there is a hostria formation that penetrate into the stem of the host and getting nutrition from that plant. And on the left side, you will see the area is mostly covered by Cuscuta reflexa on Ficus carica. And there are various species here in our campus. We have seen Cuscuta chinensis, mostly found on ornamental species, as well as that has also been seen in weedy nature species like I have seen on Coniza, then Xanthium, Stromarium, and various other species. So another important aspect which is you have already studied in seed dispersal, so you can get help from that slide too, that there are certain plant species which are facilitated either by animal or birds or even human being for this dispersal mechanism, but there are two sort of dispersal mechanism. In one mechanism, seeds are large in number, they are embedded within the pulp, and such kind of foods are mostly engulfed, mostly eaten by animal and even birds. And through passing alimentary canal, the dung as well as feces which are dropped in different areas, and in this way they are dispersing in wider distant area. So this is a list of species including Caparis decidua, Spinosa, Chenopodium album, Mordica balsamina, Portulica oleracea, Prosopis species. There are three species of Prosopis: Gravia asiatica, Gravia tenax, even Gravia optiva, which is also found here. Then Celtus austral is also present here. Syzygium commoni, Morus alba nigra. There are various grass species which are Dactylocrinum aegyptium, Gricaria ruciformis, Echinocloacris gulli, Echinocloa colonna, Solanum lycopersicum, Solanum nigrum, Lanthena. And these are some of the pictures that is you can see in this, and the same are also here, and some of them are also, and there are certain species which are provided with spiny or thorny or hook like appendages on the seeds, and the mechanism involved is to attach with the hides with the body of animals or any kind of creature. So these include Bidens chinensis, Medicago polymorpha, Xanthium stromarium, Alternanthera pungens, Tribulus peristris, Citeria pumila, Citeria viridis, Cenchrus ciliaris, Cenchrus echinatus, Sacrum spontaneum, Florus barbata, Dicanthum annulatum, Desmostachia bipinnata, Lysuria synthicus, Tragus roxburgii, even typha. There are various species of typha, so these are also and the dispersal mechanism through human beings. This is a very large area in which all the crop species are involved, and most of these crops, including ornamental, shade-loving, and landscaping species, which are normally introduced by the scientists, by the even human being for their own desire, and on the other hand, some weedy nature species are also introduced by the human being, including Brachychiton acidifolius, Lantana camara, mesquite, that is known as a Prosopis juliflora, Prosopis glandulosa, and then variety of other species. So these are this is a Brusonesia paparifera, and it's a menace to our this is Pindi Islamabad, because this is a dioecious plant, and the male plant is problematic. This is Lantana camara.